Welcome to Game.Bot Games Presents Generation Dragons, episode 31, with special guests Joel from Relic Games or Relic Entertainment. Clint, how you doing?
Not bad, man. How about yourself? I like your shirt. Happy,
Thank you, sir.
happy Dreamcast.
Dreamcast Day, 99.99.
Yeah. I mean, we're a few days late, but that's fine. It's okay. We're 22 years later. That's cool.
Well, to be honest, you celebrated it and you text me, so congrats.
I did. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's sitting here. I'm just my Seaman's still waiting to be hatched. I put the heat up too high. I didn't read the guide. I should have read the guide. So
there's only a few people that wouldn't get that.
Everyone, thank you for watching or listening to us right now. Steve, I don't see our guest. Good sir. I mean, we've got John 117, and we've got Marcus Phoenix over here, and Marcus Phoenix over here, and JD over here, and
he's coming. I swear. I don't know, man.
Where's Joel, man?
I guess at Relic they don't care about punctuality.
Do not bash a company owned by Sega.
You're right. I just don't know where he is, so I don't know what to say.
Sega.
So, right, we gotta do that. If he shows up, when he shows up, he's going to show up every time we get the chance. Sega.
Yeah.
So. Oh man. So.
Oh,
Joel,
okay.
Where are you?
Where Joel? Oh, hey, Joel, are you here yet? Joel, where? Oh, shit, there's Joel. Oh,
the timing is punctual. No,
you made it.
I don't think you can hear us yet. There he is.
Whoa! Oh, there's Joel.
Man, where are you, dude?
Oh, my audio's not working.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, it's working. We can hear you.
Oh, we can hear you. You must be in some crazy server room in Japan, and I know you were for Sega, but like, oh, sorry,
yeah,
Sega.
Oh, no, this is where I work. Oh, yeah. Sorry, I'm late.
Yeah, man, where were you? We've been waiting, and we delayed the show. And glad you can make it. By the way, I don't mean anything. But where are you?
It's good. It's good to see you again. I was. We had a live server deployment on a Friday afternoon that went a little south. So I had to spend some time troubleshooting that with some colleagues, and just ran here. And yeah, no, but I'm good to go now.
Great. Well, I'm glad you're here.
We're playing games.
So, just intro everyone. Clint, obviously one of my best friends. Joel, a former colleague of mine. Meet each other. Hello, whatever.
Hi, Joel.
Hi, Clint. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Yeah. So,
before we get into it, Joel, what was the big deal tonight? What kept you getting in?
So our live services are being used for a tournament next week. And what happened was we needed to do some updates to manage the size of the tournament. So to make sure people actually had servers to play on. So that was a deployment that did that, as well as put out a couple new features behind the scenes. And so we were trying to find a good time to deploy this, get this working, because we can't just there's an outage that happens and people can't play for a couple hours, which no one likes, right?
Well, of course, Friday evening is the best time to do these things.
Not a Tuesday or a Wednesday evening.
I wish. There was actually a lot of back and forth between my boss and because he was the one coordinating the actual time, my boss and some other higher ups to whom to when we should do this, and it was finally decided, okay, we can't do it next week at all, so we have to do it today. Yeah. And there were some thoughts about sat on the weekend, but no one wants to work on a weekend. So I did it today. We did it today. There were three of us that were working on this. Well, I pressed the button to make it go, and then there were three of us watching it as it went.
You had the honor.
Yeah, I pressed the button.
So, we do it together. Together.
So one thing I didn't do, I did introduce you because we got into this just like this, but for those watching, this is a good friend of mine and a new friend of Clint's, Joel from Relic Entertainment. Welcome to our little podcast. Glad to have you. Before we do anything, cheers.
Cheers. Yeah.
Yeah. Doink. I mean, dink. Clink. Yeah, there you go. Clink is the word I was looking for. Yeah.
Towards the end of that deployment, I definitely needed a beer.
Yeah, I won't lie. I'm probably on. I had a social after work tonight with some of the crew.
Nice.
So I might be a few in, and Clint's on vacation mode, so he might be a few in.
Just a few. Yeah. Just a few.
Well, because you guys are also East Coast, so you're like,
we are. It's 8:30.
I'm ready for bed, bud.
Yeah, it's 5 o'clock for me. So
yeah, I know. I was going to mention that, but I wasn't sure if you were. I was going to be like, "Oh, it's not that late for a work day," but but I'm glad it's over and you didn't get stuck late.
No. I've been through far worse in the past in terms of like server deployments and whatnot. So this one actually, in terms of things that could have gone wrong, it didn't go that wrong.
Good.
Yeah, that's good. So talking about this and working for Relic Entertainment. What's your job title? And please explain it for our listeners who may not know exactly what that means.
Sure. So I work for Relic Entertainment, and Relic is a game studio. They've made things like Dawn of War, Homeworld, and they're currently making Age of Empires 4 on behalf of Microsoft. So my title is Site Reliability Engineer. So basically, I don't work on the games themselves. So I'm not coding up like anything in Age of Empires or Company Heroes 3, like my hat, or anything like that. I work on all the server infrastructure, specifically. There's actually two halves of my team. There's like the site reliability engineers, which I am, and then there's like the server application programmers, which do funny things that I don't understand sometimes. But basically, it's my job to make sure all our live services keep on running. So like today, like we want to make sure that our application is in the cloud and is running, and that people are able to like use it without any issues or anything. So that involves I work on all the infrastructure automation. So in this case, like we use Azure and AWS. So I work with ARM templates and CloudFormation. I do a lot of Ansible, Bash scripting. I work a lot in Python because a lot of our sort of automation framework is in Python, that sort of stuff. And that's
I have a few friends that are going to want to hear this already at this point. Anyway, I won't get into the
oh no,
things like that, but yeah. So I didn't mean to cut you off. Keep going.
That's about it. My sort of day to day is like I'll look at server alerts for when I'm in office hours. So that's like 10 to 4. And then I work on stuff to improve our automation. We've got a couple internal projects that we're working on. Like one of the big things I'm working on right now is upgrading our backend to use containers and containerization for a lot of our systems. And sort of the unique quirks that working in the game industry sort of comes with in terms of using being able to containerize and whatnot. It's not as straightforward as you might think.
Nice.
So, yeah.
No, it's interesting, right? Because nobody ever really hears or speaks to people that work on the back end of games.
Everyone wants to hear about developers, and they don't.
Exactly. Yeah.
So funny you should mention that. So there was a sort of an Age of Empires 4 party, like virtual party thing that was happening while we're doing the server deployment, and all of like the leads and like head developers and producers on that are like all thanking each other and saying whatever. Meanwhile, on the back end, everything's on fire. We can't get the servers to start. It was no one ever sees what's going on.
So the TV show Mythic Quest is like perfect to what you're talking about, because it's exactly what it sounds like. Everything is awesome,
Yeah.
and then it's just fucking shit. It's that meme where it's the dog in the house, a fire, and he's just like,
everything is fine.
It's okay.
Everything is fine. Yeah. That explains some of my job on a daily basis.
Good. That's good.
So not quite at all related, but today I sent Clint a picture. It popped up in your memory. And speaking of parties, I was at an Xbox vendor party,
Nice.
and they rented out the Vancouver Aquarium, and they had reps at every floor, so you couldn't pay for your own drinks, but they had girls dancing on podiums dressed in Xbox stuff. Like they literally had Xbox across their chests. And so I had a picture with a girl and a buddy of mine, and sent it to Clint, and I'm like, well, it was so long ago. He's like, Babyface Steve. I'm like, yeah, Porker Steve. But
Awesome.
yeah, it brought back a memory today, and just randomly popped up today.
Nice.
But
No,
long time ago that I flew to Vancouver for that and then came back.
Nice.
Well, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
What brought you to Relic? How did you get there? What was the path? Because I know we were together, and then you went somewhere else, and then you went to Relic. What happened?
So when we worked together, it was at Sophos and whatnot, and I was sort of
GS.
GS, yeah. So I was like the highest tier of technical support and whatnot. So I've always had like a very technical background. So when I left Sophos, I went to another company where I did technical support for them for a little while, and then I moved into they weren't called site reliability engineers. They were I don't remember the title anymore, actually. It's like live ops engineer or something like that, where basically my job was to help our application run in the background. So I went from being customer facing to just being an internal person, being like, let's make sure everything stays up in the air. And that's sort of always what I've been interested in. I like automation. I'm interested in building tools to do things. And that's really what a lot of being an SRE is. You just
like
sort
a lot
of
the if that then this type stuff.
A little. There's a little more complicated stuff in there, but yeah, that's a lot of it.
Like, when you were talking there, that's exactly what it made me think of. I'm like, if this happens, and this automatically happens. And,
there is a lot of that. There is a lot of that. And then yeah, so I worked at that other company for a little while, and I got frustrated with a couple things internally, and I started looking for a new job, and I spent a couple months looking for like a new job, like the right new job. I wasn't like needing to leave right away, but I was like, okay, I'm going to take my time and look for a new job. So it was actually around Christmas of 2020, a couple days after actually. I typed into Google SRE jobs Vancouver, and it popped up, oh, Relic was hiring. And I'd known Relic from playing Dawn of War and Dawn of War 2 and Homeworld. I was like, oh, cool, I'm going to apply. So I doctored up my resume, made it all look nice and pretty, and I applied. And actually the day after, like the new year, like the first day back at work after the new year, they called me and like wanted to interview me. And then I went through about a month-ish interview process, and I started end of February, beginning of March. So yeah, that's how I got to where I am. Yeah,
pretty amazing.
Yeah,
man. So Clint, do you want the next one?
Well, I mean, just what's it like? What's it like? So, I mean, I've always been I'm a big gamer. I like development. I've a friend developing a game now, and I know Relic Entertainment is owned by Sega. So, what's it like working for a developer on the back end of everything? What's it like on that side? I mean, and again, I know you might have certain things you can say and can't say, but share what you can.
No worries. It's really good. I really enjoy it. I've been here 7-8 months almost, and I've really enjoyed it. It was a little awkward to be onboarded in the middle of a pandemic. So that was the weirdest part. However, everyone at the company is awesome. I've received like onboarding remotely is a little awkward sometimes, and I've got nothing to help with that. Actually, a couple of weeks ago, they were doing office tours for people because they want to start, like, they're thinking about how to get people back into the office. And I actually got to go on an office tour. Maybe it was in like the end of July-ish. That's roughly when I think it was. So I got to walk around the office, and it was really cool. They've got like Space Marine statues from Dawn of War. They've got like Homeworld, like all sorts of really cool paraphernalia.
Oh, that's neat. You guys sent some pictures, especially the Homeworld stuff, and that was a big
like I unfortunately I didn't take any pictures while I was there, but when next time I get to go into the office, because I like working in an office sometimes, I want to like, I'll take pictures, and like if you're ever in Vancouver, I can totally take you on a tour. That's 100%.
Are we booking this?
Yeah, sure. I mean, the flights are pretty cheap from Ottawa. Yeah.
Everything's cool when you're part of the team.
Yeah, I don't know how it's going to work after the pandemic, but I do know that was the thing before. Yeah. Where was I? Yeah, I think.
I'd love to get out there. It's been so long since we could even travel.
Yeah,
so
I know.
It's only just starting to loosen up now. So
yeah,
but yeah, just to move on.
Sure.
Why did you want to become a site reliability engineer? I knew I was going to mess that up.
I even have trouble saying it some days. Like I said, I like building tools and things to get things done. I've never been a person that like. I've always started big projects, and they've sort of fallen to the wayside and stuff like that. But like, one of the most fun, some of the stuff I do actually stick to and consistently work on are tools and things that interact with other projects. So like it's a very long time ago. This is like 15 years ago. I tried to build my own game engine. Just a 2D, like 2D sprite game engine type thing. And cool, I got it kind of working. But then I started building tools to like put stuff into the game. Like I was trying to build an RPG because I'm a huge RPG player. And I had more fun building the tools that would make stuff, that would put stuff into the game than I ever would like building the game itself, I think. And so that's just sort of where it's all gone. Like, even when I was at Sophos, one of the things I always wanted to do, I never had a chance to, was build like a way better analytics thing for support to use, and whatnot. Because I know you have the one tool, and I think a couple other tools have come.
I should show you some stuff we have now, but it's a lot of it's API based and whatnot. But
yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. So,
but it's just as in my role, it's way different. Like I used to have to do a lot of this stuff manually, where now I can just run a script.
Yeah, that's great.
Get access to their. Yeah, anyway, we're getting off topic.
Yeah, but building that sort of stuff is what I like to do, and that sort of really goes down the sort of the SRE route, and what you do. Yeah.
So next time I have to say that, I'm just going to say SRE instead.
Come on, Steve, you just still screwed it up, man. You still screwed it up.
I'm blaming it on the 1 or 2 beers I might have had already.
Yeah, just a couple. Just the last couple.
But what we take from this is that Joel's really good with his tools. So just saying. You want the next one, Clint? Right? Cheers.
Yeah. Well, yeah, no. So, Joel. So, I mean, I'm like, yeah, okay, yeah. Sorry, I'm struggling because I was like, do I want to ask this question? I don't want to go by. So,
ask me whatever you want.
Yeah, no. So, working for Relic, you were saying how you like building the tools to build a game. What like? So what type of games do you like? What's your style? So Relic is generally RTS-ish games, right?
Yeah.
Like, so you said RPG. Like, what's the style of games you like to play? Like, what?
I'm very much an RPG player. I actually I've always loved MMORPGs. So I was really big into EverQuest, Dark Age of Camelot,
yes, fucking EverQuest,
World of Warcraft, for a long time as well.
Wow.
EVE Online. I played EVE Online for ages.
Nice.
And right now I'm waiting for New World to come out because New World looks really good, at least like that. So I love my RPGs. Right now I'm playing Pathfinder, War of the Righteous,
Right.
Wrath of the
Based off the
Righteous.
tabletop
Yeah,
game, right?
Yeah. Yeah. That's super, super
Or
fun.
at
A little
least
buggy.
inspired
It's
by it,
super
I
fun.
think. Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't played it, so it's not coming out to consoles until
Oh,
March, I think, but it is coming out on the PS5 and Xbox Series.
nice.
So
Nice. Yeah, like any old school like RPG style, like think Baldur's Gate style games, I absolutely love.
Nice.
Anything like that, like
Baldur's game is awesome.
it was such a good game. BG1, BG2, Icewind Dale, they're all fantastic games. And I keep telling people nowadays, okay, you got to play these. These are some classic RPGs, and no one listens to me. They're like, no, the graphics are crap.
They don't know what they're missing then.
No.
But that said, you ever stride out into other genres? Like, you ever play like fighting games? I heard you're pretty good at Soul Calibur.
I think I know who told you that.
I heard you get passionate. Is all I heard.
I get very passionate, and I'm actually fighting games are probably actually some of the games I'm the worst at. They've never clicked well with me, but they make me very angry. Very, very angry, and I yell and I swear and I throw things. It's not fun.
But I heard you're pretty good.
Depends how many beers I've had. So.
I was saving this for the end of the video, but I just could not help but segue from what we're talking about. Man, so where are we at now? I think we just asked you about.
The games that you play, like what are you playing? Then what's your current stack of games that you're playing?
Yeah, so like I said, Wrath of the Righteous.
Nice. Yeah.
I've been playing RimWorld a lot recently. It's sort of like it is a storytelling game. At least that's what the creator calls it. It's basically it's like a survival game, but you have like little they call them pawns. You have little people. And then you can't tell them directly what to do. You sort of just give them general orders. You're like, hey, I want you to build this wall and put a roof up and stuff. So you say, okay, here's where I want you to build the wall. Here's where I want to build the roof. And then they have to run around, collect the resources and whatnot automatically. But they don't always do that. So you have to kind of like figure out why and stuff like that. So so that's another game I've been playing. I love Factorio is another game I play a lot of on and off. Automation. It's an automation game. Build a factory. I just have this then. Sorry,
I'm just making a small joke. If that, then this.
Yeah, almost. I'm just going through my Steam list right now. What else have I been playing recently? I just got a new computer, so I don't have anything installed. So I'm just like,
you're just saying you just built it, yeah.
Yeah.
What's under the hood? Actually, just to change subjects and off topic. What's under the hood? What did you build?
2070 Super, Ryzen. One second. Actually pull it up because I didn't build it. My girlfriend's brother helps me put it together. I'm not a hardware guy at all. At least I'm not like a desktop hardware guy. So I was like, hey, this is what I'm planning on doing. What are some good things for that? So it's a Ryzen 5950. That's what it says here. So it's 16 core processor, graphics card 2070 Super, 64 gigs of RAM. I've got one of the big things that I got recently was NVMe drives. So I got two.
Oh, that's so awesome.
Two NVMe drives, and the thing is, like my read write speeds are fucking through the roof. Like I am it's awesome.
So jealous of that. So it's a pretty decent machine. Like it's like double what I have over here.
I spent a pretty penny on it, and my old one was about 7-8 years old. I was like, okay, I want a new one.
Yeah.
So yeah,
nice, man. So all right, where are we at? Let's see. Today, boom, boom, boom. Oh yeah. So with the imminent release of Age of Empires, is there anything that you can share or want to add? I know you can't say a lot, but What do you think?
I can't
Yeah,
say a lot. I've played it. Like everyone, most people at Relic have played it. I really enjoy it, but I am not an RTS connoisseur. Like I enjoy RTSs, but like I'm not. I would not be able to tell you if it's super good or super bad. But I enjoy it. I played a couple of mission or played against a couple of people online for the most part. It seems fun. Won a couple matches, lost a couple matches. Mainly just like all the land-based combat and whatnot. That's really all I've played around with, and yeah, I quite enjoy it. I think it's a lot of fun. I From my understanding, I think Age of Empires 4 fans will like it.
Well, that's the best.
Good.
Yeah.
Right. That's it, right? The people who are fans of Age of Empires, as long as they're going to enjoy it, that's right. Like it's the people that play Civ versus Age of Empire, right? Age of Empire 3 and 4 have been so long between the two, but the people that have been playing Civ, what is it, 6 or 5 or 4? I don't know what it is.
4, 5, and 6, I think.
Yeah, I think that's something what it is, right? So yeah, exactly. So there's been 3 Civ games in the span of 1 Age of Empire games, but like you're saying, that's good to hear because it's coming out to PC and Xbox over the next few months. October and PC, and I think Xbox in around the same time.
I believe what is the public release date? Actually, no, it's the release date.
Age of Empire is.
You sound so angry when you hammer that keyboard.
It's just a mechanical keyboard. So it's super, super loud. No, it's
28th of October on PC, right? Yeah, right. So I don't know what it is on Xbox, but I'm pretty sure it's in around the same time, if not later.
I think so. I have not played it on console. I've actually been very, very curious how an RTS would play on console.
Cumbersome.
So,
but hey, man, Halo Wars and Halo Wars 2.
Yeah, they're okay. Studios. But I just when you're playing RTS and you can just do hotkeys and things are really quick. It's a lot easier, but you can just plug in. Sure, but you could plug in a mouse and keyboard into the Xbox anyway. So I was just plugging in a dongle and.
I'm sure that's
you love plugging in dongles, eh, Steve?
Yeah, well, lately, I was right there with it. I just lost it.
I mean, there's not much else to do during a pandemic, is there?
No, but the joke was
surprised you don't have a few more kids.
Well, I have 3 that I know of, so.
Hey, Steve.
You have 3 now? I thought you only had 2.
Oh, God, no. There's probably more out there, but my oldest is 15, actually.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she's getting up there. Yeah.
How old is Elena?
Sorry. I'm not going to say what that's from. I'll tell Joel after this video.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's not as bad as maybe it is as bad as you think.
I'm
no.
Maybe mention it later.
Yeah, definitely.
Good stuff. No, so I mean, what's it like, Joel? Working, like what's the day to day like working on the back end of a video game company?
Yeah, like when do you start? And like, do you work from home? Do you go into the office? Do you do both?
Well, we're all work from home right now, 100% until the office opens up again, which might not be till January now. They were originally going to like try and get people back in September, but now there's like this
Delta?
next wave. Yeah, Delta. There's this new Mu variant as well. So, but yeah, my day to day is like I usually start between like 8:30 and 9:30ish. Depends. I kind of like roll out of bed depending on how I'm feeling in the morning. I log in and I'm like, okay, and generally I'm very much like a developer with a little extra things tagged onto the end. So I have like tickets that I work on. So I'm like, okay, but like it's not like at Sophos where like a support engineer might have 400 tickets. I don't know if it's that bad anymore. I know, but like when I was there, it was that bad.
Yeah.
But like you like 400, like I'll have like in a 2 week sprint, so 2 weeks where we try to get all our work done. I will have between 3 and 5 tickets that I work on. I try to implement, and then we'll deploy it along. Like we'll take the new infrastructure that that the SREs build, so myself and 2 others, and we'll take the application that the application team, like the server and network guys are working on, and we'll put it all together and we'll make sure it works, and then we'll schedule times to put that out to our live servers like we were doing today, which didn't go so well. But yeah, that's it. It's not that much. Like I don't interact with the games itself on a daily basis, other than like in a lot of meetings we'll be like Age of Empires for this, and then we'll rattle off like 10 things 10 things that how it affects us, and we're like, okay, this is what we need to do. So I deal a lot more with the consequences of how the games get built, and what the games are trying to accomplish. And I think that's a good way to look at it. Where like if a game wants to support 1,000 versus 1,000 player multiplayer like battles, so 2,000 people, it's sort of on us to figure out how that would work.
So the game is the cause, you're the effect.
Yeah, a little. Yeah, that's definitely a good way to look at it.
Yeah. Interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah, it's just we're probably kind of pausing here because we're seeing it from a different angle, right? So to hear
that's
and I'm like, man, the place you work at looks just crazy. So.
Look all those
clean. It's
servers.
clean.
I have never seen a server room this clean before. This I'll reveal some magic. There you go. I don't know if you can see stuff now.
Now you're in your closet. You know, this is outside of the server room. This is the how-to room.
No, this is just my spare room. Yeah. No,
so is this actually.
Yeah. No, I was gonna say, Steve, like I love your background. I love both your guys' backgrounds. Actually, I wish
Clint's got it nice, but you got to check out one of the videos where we're actually sitting in my main room and you just have the wall of games. And
you've sent me pictures of that before. Is that the same room? That's like the rumpus room.
That's like way over there. And
yeah.
This is literally like the kids' playroom turned into my office because of COVID.
Okay. Steve, are we gonna have a piston contest right now? We have to have the show off video games. We're gonna have to do a video.
We should do a video of that, right? Actually.
We're gonna have to.
That could be fun.
Yeah, except I'll have to start pulling stuff out just to beat them. But
so actually, so just random tangent. A friend of mine has been looking at like vintage video games and stuff and their prices because he's got a lot of old stuff.
It's crazy skyrocketed. Yeah. So right now he'd make money.
Yeah. So like he was looking. So he's got like an original Super Nintendo Mario World. Like there's a lot out there, but apparently like that's worth $20 to $30 right now, just the cartridge itself. But if you had an unsealed version, it's like a couple $1,000.
That's the biggest thing. So I open up everything. So to be honest, Clint and I's collections are pretty similar. You know, his goes one way more than mine, and I goes the other way. But when it comes to collecting, I'd say mid 2000s to late 2000s, it just started going like.
Oh yeah,
like nuts. 100%. And I got a lot of my stuff, you know, when I was younger and in the late 90s to mid 2000s. It's kind of where I got a lot of my stuff. I worked at EB Games. I was a manager there. People would bring stuff to trade in, and I'd be like, half the time I would be like, because of work, we give like crap prices for this.
Here's $1. I'll give you $15 for it.
But I would be like, you know,
$10,
I can't take this in. But if you want to talk to me outside, you know, I can give you a decent price, or I could set you up with someone that would. And it was a
black marketing.
Yeah, right. But at the same time, for someone to bring in something like a Power Glove and stuff like that, and we don't even take it, but we'll take this, so just throw it in with us.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, really? You're giving the guy like $28 credit for like his lifetime collection at that point. And so that's where I got a lot of the stuff from. I had a lot of it growing up, but I definitely couldn't afford that stuff growing up, and that's where my collection came from.
Nice, that's awesome.
But yeah, like back to what I was saying back there, it was actually Clint and his wife that set that display up when we first moved in here, because I just kept everything in boxes, and they're like, "Why don't you just display it?" I'm like, "No, I don't know," and they're like, "No, just display your stuff," and then they made that wall. Like, I don't know if you remember that, but you guys did that like 10 years ago.
Yeah, I do recall that conversation happening, Steve. I do recall. Yeah. I'm making sure everything was alphabetical order, and
you did it like EB does it. Sorry, GameStop now, alphabetical to the letter, which I don't blame you. There's like 1,000 things, but
A B, A C. Okay, so we got
all the A's,
A C.
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah. Anyway, we got off topic with our stuff.
It's all good.
What's your collection like? Do you have anything like that? Are you big on any games, collecting, even action figures or collectibles? I'm a collector kind of guy, so
I've got a big book collection that I'm very hard pressed to get rid of all my books, and I have purged a bunch over the years.
What do you mean books? So, like what genre? What are they?
I'll show you. So this shelf here, this is mainly mine stuff. There's like a row of textbooks and stuff that I'll.
What's that yellow one? Oh, SRE for Dummies. Is that what it is?
But I gotta read that on a daily basis.
Right.
Down low. Actually can't see it very well. I've got there's a lot of sci-fi fantasy. That's big what I read. As well as nonfiction science books are a lot of what I'm really into. The top row is some of my favorite books. Got Steven Erikson, the Malazan Book of the Fallen series, which is a fantastic fantasy series. Then there's also Glenn Cook, The Black Company is another fantastic fantasy series. It's mostly fantasy from what I can remember. Sci-fi sorry?
I see R2D2 on your left. Top shelf there. I think I see an R2D2. Am I not wrong?
Oh yeah. Oh, over there. That's like a lunchbox. That's an R2D2 lunchbox. That's my girlfriend's. Nice. She actually probably collects more stuff than I do. Mm-hmm. And then we've got a lot of artwork up all over our place. A lot of science artwork, a lot of and stuff like that. I pan around the room, but it's kind of a mess right now. It's actually like a bad mess right now because we're having some construction being done in our front room due to unforeseen circumstances.
Mm. So, I guess we're getting to the point where we're kind of wrapping it up. But unless there's anything you can think of, Clint, that you wanted to add, or Joel. No. I think we've had a pretty good chat. I really want to welcome you and thank you for joining.
This has been super fun. Super fun.
Yeah, it's been great. And if everyone see the beginning where we screwed up a bunch of times, better. But I think you're going to reach out tonight about the Soul Calibur thing because I heard the video.
No, not tonight. Not tonight.
I have to ask though, what Soul Calibur was it? I have to know.
It's it's a fighting game. It's
I know what Soul. Which one? Like there's been four.
Joel, he's never heard of Soul Calibur.
I don't know.
Okay, PS2, PS3, Dreamcast.
Well, if it's at my friend's house,
PS4 and PS4 and PS5. So Soul Calibur 4 and 5.
Yeah.
Basically. Are the ones I've played, but I'm not very good at them, and I mainly play them after I've had a few beers. So fair. It's not something.
You play Soul Calibur 2 on the Dreamcast, and you put in a code. You might get to see some special boobies in the Soul Calibur.
That's right, man. I forgot about that.
Happy Dreamcast Day, guys! Happy Dreamcast Day.
I gotta find a Dreamcast.
I'm making that. I'm like trying to grab your breasts and twist them here.
Yeah, Steve, that.
That's a double whammy, but
yes.
But we do this sign off. Keep collecting.
Keep gaming.
Keep safe.
There we go. Welcome to Game.Bot Games presents Generation
Come on, Steve. Okay, now wave your hands. Here, waving your hands. This is
in the air
this
like you
is
just
the
don't
edit.
care. All
All
right.
right, go ahead, Steve.
Welcome to Game.Bot Games presents Generation Dragons, episode 30, with special guest Joel.
31, Steve. 31.
Ass.
Damn it, man. that's how it should be.
I'm going to use that as a... Okay.
Good stuff.
This is why you do this.
Yeah.
Welcome to Game.Bot. Okay. All right, you ready? Because I'm turning red now.
Yeah, okay, here we go.